What's happening, everybody? Welcome back. This is T-4 and today we have Sneak Peek 5, a sneak peek that's going to be very, very exciting for quite a few players out there because this is a fan favorite. But I got to tell you guys, as far as my perspective is concerned, I'm not really that excited. I'm going to explain why here in a second. So let's check it out, guys. This is actually, it's a good sneak peek. I love the music. Professor X. Nice. Nice. Sorry. Cancel error. This says tier 4, guys, right? So Professor X is getting a tier 4. Now, I'm not going to lie, guys. I'm a little disappointed with this because I was kind of hoping Mystique would get it, right? I was kind of hoping Mystique would get it because she is a speed villain, right? And that could have been pretty useful for some players out there, especially with her damage to supervillain passive. But Professor X is getting it. Now, this is a fan favorite, and this is a really, really cool character and a really great character as far as I'm concerned. It's just that he's a blast mutant male. And we have talked about this before, right? When it comes to these mutants, they just get screwed on restrictions and requirements. In ABX and ABL, the only place he'd be relevant, because he is going to be a blast superhero, more than likely, unless they change his typing, is for blast male superhero, right? So he might end up becoming the meta for ABX, but a lot of people already have Iron Man, right? And then Adam Warlock, he might be getting a tier 4 in the future with the Guardians of the Galaxy update. We'll see. But Iron Man's already got the tier 4. A lot of people invest in him because he was the very first tier 4. And he can cap on some accounts already, right? So people are going to look at this and be like, right now, my Iron Man, even with a stacked up build and everything, can't do it. But if I put a reforged CTB of Rage on, maybe it could. And the other thing is, World Boss, guys, there's no real high level places to really use this character for the most part, unless maybe it's Ultron or maybe Jean Grey. Maybe there's a situation where you could use them then, but for a lot of players, they're just not going to be there, right? They're not going to be in no high levels of any of those bosses that I just mentioned. Thank you so much for subscribing. But the thing about Professor X is, he does have a good leadership, and they might amplify this leadership and might make him a better support. But we already know we're getting Kitty Pryde, right? And she has a much better leadership than him, although he is in a paywall. That's the one good thing about the character. It's just that, even if they amplify his leadership, if it applies to all mutants, well, that's already going to make him less relevant because you can only use him in those mutant stages. He doesn't really have any specific typings that prove to be relevant. Leadership, in the levels of leadership where you need it against Mephisto, there are plenty of characters that can already destroy it and murder it. So, unless this guy ends up becoming like some kind of PvP meta, which would be pretty cool. Like if he could control everybody, that would be pretty damn cool. It'd be pretty funny actually if he could control Jean Grey and all. But I don't think they're really going to do that. So I actually think that this character is probably going to be a skip for a lot of players unless Netmarble does some things for him. Like change his typing, change him from a blast to something else. Give him some different tags here, right? Those things would help him a lot. Give him some tags where he'd be more useful in World Boss Legend, because the last thing you ever want for any tier 4 character is to be only a support. And nobody's going to tier 4 a character for a support. They're just not going to do it. It takes way too many materials to tier 4 a character. They want to get they want to get a lot of bang for their buck out of these characters. And I just feel like with this character, you're just not going to get much bang for your buck unless they change some things for him. But it's still cool, and it's still really exciting for all the players that love Professor X. I love Professor X, but he's not a favorite of mine. I do love him, but he's not my favorite. But for those of you that, this is your favorite character, really exciting times for you. That's awesome. But let me know how y'all feeling, guys. Would you have preferred to have Mystique instead of Professor X? I'm actually curious about that. And I do stream on Twitch at 9 p.m. GT+7 time. The link is in the description below. And I hope you enjoyed the video. Thank you for watching. Y'all take care and have a good one. See everybody. Take care.